Hello everyone, welcome to Como Live. I'm Victoria, I'm the aquatic horticulturist here at the Como Conservatory, and this is a water garden. So on my last video, which was a little while ago now, I introduced to you my baby water lilies, which are so cute, and I talked a little bit about how it works to grow them from little tiny tubers to full-sized. So they're adults, they're full grown, they moved out. I don't have to worry about them as much anymore, which is really great for me. And now they're out in the public for you to enjoy. You can visit them anytime you want. They're in front of our visitor center. So rain and shine, here they are, ready for you. Now this is not actually full size. They're gonna get a lot bigger. So if you wanna see them at their best, you should come probably towards the end of July. That's when they're really soaked up all the nutrients and they're just giant and really exciting, but they're beautiful right now too, and you might as well just keep coming back, right? So I'm going to explain a little bit more about the process from bringing them in the greenhouse out here and getting them to this display size. So not everyone realizes that every plant in this pool is in a pot. See? That makes it easy for me to rearrange if I decide I don't quite like that one next to that one and that kind of thing. So we wait until they are big enough to be living in 6-inch pots back in the greenhouse, and then I have to move them out into tubs that are right outside our horticulture garage. And I have to do what you would have to do when you're moving a plant from your house to your garden. You've got to bring it out on a shady day, or in our case we use shade cloth, to get it accustomed. Because if these go from the greenhouse straight out into full sun in the garden here, they will burn and it is not pretty. It looks terrible. They become like tissue paper. So we have to prepare them for full sun, which takes a couple days just to be safe. And then we plant them in these big, what we call lily pans. They're about 18 inches wide. And that is their final home for the whole year. That's the pot that they are in the water right now. Moving them physically from behind the greenhouse on our electric cart all the way out here to the front is a little bit of a process. These are plants that need to be wet all the time. So even that short drive, especially on a hot, sunny day, really damages their leaves. So we do something kind of funny to keep them safe during that drive. You've probably been wondering why I'm holding this. These are sheets, bed sheets, and yes, these were my sheets when I was like 7 years old. They're a very kind donation from my parents, who don't like to throw anything away, which I'm grateful for right now. We cover the water lilies in these sheets, and then we wet the sheets down, and it keeps them lovely and damp and very comfortable for the whole drive out. So we basically tuck them in for the ride, which is so cute. And yeah, really getting my money's worth out of these sheets. This is my favorite Disney movie, by the way, from when I was a kid. So very excited that the Victorias have made their public debut this weekend. We've got 3 of them out here. These are the Longwood hybrid. We get those seeds from Longwood Gardens, hence the name. They're generous enough to donate those seeds to us, and then we grow them from seed here at Como, which is really cool to be able to do. I said that every plant out here is in their own pot, and that is true for the Victorias as well, but they're very different from these guys. So like this is small for them. They're gonna get a lot bigger than this. What we have to do with the Victorias is we bring them out in their greenhouse pot, which in this case was a 10-inch pot, and we bring them to these, I guess I could call them a pot. There are 100-gallon tubs that are buried in the pool in set locations. Obviously, bringing out a 100-gallon tub to and from the pool would be really difficult, so they're permanently embedded, which means we have to plant these in the water, which can get a little tricky because there's no visibility. If you've ever walked in a lake, you'll know all the soil kicks up and it just becomes a cloud. So a little challenging, especially because they're trying to stab you the whole time. Don't take it personally. And but that gives them tons of space to grow out, that 100-gallon pot. So they're going to get real huge. They're still so cute at this age. They're teenagers right now, basically. So by the end of the summer, they'll be quite a bit bigger, which is really exciting. So you can come visit them right now if you want. They won't bloom for a while. If you're looking forward to those nighttime blooms, that probably won't be happening until closer to mid-July, because we do want them to focus a little bit more on their leaves and getting those roots fleshed out before they start with their blooming. But once that blooming happens, we'll definitely try to let you know, because that is a really exciting event here. So here we are in a very different section of the water gardens. This is kind of my Minnesota area, because almost all of these plants here are cold hardy. They're plants that need to have a cold dormancy. So a lot of these we will actually bring back into the greenhouse at the end of the season, and we keep them in our dormant house, which gets down to 40, maybe even like 35 degrees in the winter. So they go into a dormancy, and then we bring them out and just pop them in the pools when it's warm enough, which is great. They're so much less needy than the tropicals, and I don't always give them as much love. I'm very hands-off with these, but they look so beautiful. And if you have a tub of water, a pond, something in your backyard, these are the kind of plants that you should really be looking at, because these are the plants that will just keep coming back year after year and can handle Minnesota. So what we've got through here are some beautiful lotus, which I am obsessed with. People don't always realize that Minnesota has native lotus. So these three, they're pretty new. They're just putting up their leaves, so they're going to be a lot bigger later in the season. But these are all Minnesota natives, and I could play with these all day. Lotus are famous for being hydrophobic. Water will not stick to them. You cannot get these wet. Look at that just rolling off. Seriously, I could do this all day. So if you come and visit, have at it. Splash them from the shore as much as you want. Do your best. The only way water will stick is if it gets into a damaged area, and even then, it is really not working. So these are native. They will have yellow flowers, which is really exciting. You can find these in Minnesota, which is so cool. And these are native. They're still so young. They just put out their leaves, so cute. Not blooming yet, but these are Minnesota native water lilies. This is a pond lily, is what it's called, Nuphar lutea. It has these beautiful little kind of round cup-shaped flowers. And then these two are Nymphea odorata. So true to that odorata, they have a beautiful odor. Their flowers smell amazing. So when you come later in the season and they're blooming, they're white flowers, try to give those a whiff if you can. If I'm in the pool, I might even cut one for you, because it's really worth it. The tropicals have their big leaves and their showy flowers that come way up above the water, but hardy water lilies are spectacular in their own right. So definitely check out this little corner of the water gardens when you come visit. It is one of my favorite spots here. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your day, and can't wait to see you in the water gardens.